All right, hello and welcome everyone to day 5. So exciting. Congratulations on making it this far. Just give yourself a pat on the back already today for getting to day 5. You showed up for 4 days already. You've learned how to do your sponge. You've learned bridges, bird dogs, forearm planks, side planks, and some other fun exercises along the way. So congratulations again, and let's get into day 5 to finish it off. We'll round it all out, bring it all together, and we're just gonna basically do a fun-filled Pilates class today. So we'll get into it. We're gonna revisit those exercises and introduce some new ones for your final day. So we will start on the mat, on the back. Make sure you've got some space out to your sides. We're gonna bring the arms out and some space back behind you. Let's get into it. So coming to lie down on your back, you can gently lower yourself down, hang onto the legs by all means if you need to. We'll bring our feet to hip distance, have your toes pointing forward, arms can just be relaxed along by your sides. We'll start with some deep breaths here in and out. We're gonna work on that sponge again. So taking a full inhale through the nose, really expand into your rib cage, into your belly. And then as you exhale, wring out that sponge from all sides. Draw the belly in from pelvic floor up. We're gonna draw those hips together, ribs in together. Feel it from all sides here. Hold that squeeze, keep breathing. We're gonna keep the sponge squeezing for 3. Relax your face, neck, and shoulders. 2. And last one, let that go. Fill your belly up. Let the ribs open up, big inhale. And then as you exhale again, squeeze that sponge, wring it out, hold the squeeze, draw those ribs in, feel that connection right between your hips. Keep breathing as you keep holding that nice strong sponge squeeze. So noticing the feeling, maybe you can feel it even more now that we're on day 5. You really know how your core should feel when it's in that sponge engagement, core engagement. And that's how we want to be in most of our exercises, to feel really stable and supported through the spine and through the pelvis. Let's keep that squeeze for one more deep breath in. And exhale, let your sponge go. Take another full breath in. As you exhale, squeeze that sponge. We're going to hold the sponge and then start to move our legs. So arms come down by your sides. Keep that sponge turned on. We're bringing left leg, right leg up to tabletop and then coming right into some toe taps. So we're going to move at the hips here. You're keeping your core engaged, lowering your left toes down to the mat. Keep that squeeze, bring your knee back over the hip and then right to the other side. We lower the right toes down and then bring the right knee back up. So you're really stabilizing your pelvis here, and having that sponge turned on the whole time will allow you to keep your pelvis really still and stable as you move the legs. And so we've said it throughout the week, but as you move arms and legs, your core muscles are really doing the work to stabilize shoulders through hips, your entire trunk. Anytime you move arms and legs away from your center, those muscles have to turn on and work for you here. So really good to have that sponge activated first before you start to move. We're going to go a little bit longer. We're trying to add the arms as well here. So we're going to double it up. Arms come over the chest. And then as you tap your right toes down, the left arm will reach back behind you. Exhale, draw that up. Other side, left toes lower, right arm reaches back. Exhale, lifting up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lifting up. So really keeping your pelvis stable. You've still got that core squeezing. Wring out that sponge. And you should feel really strong and stable through your low back, through your pelvis with that sponge on. Let's go 4 more here. You're like, my sponge is getting tired. Yeah. Keep squeezing. Last 2 right here. Tap the toes, reach back. Last one. Bring the knees over the hips, arms over the chest. Just hold right there. And then see if you can maybe straighten your legs forward to 60 degrees to 45 degrees. Maybe your arms go back just a touch. And just really feel here how much you have to squeeze that sponge to hold your pelvis stable, your back stable. As the arms and legs get further away from your center, Keep breathing for 3, 2, and hug the legs in. Awesome work. Let your sponge go. Deep breath in. Whew, exhale that out. So good. Feeling that sponge, yes. So we're going to come right into some bridge lifts from here. Been here many times before. You guys are pros now at our bridge lifts. So feet hip distance, toes are forward, arms long by your sides. Let's press those hips up towards the ceiling. Knees are over the ankles at the top. And find that sponge right away here. Squeeze, ring it in from all sides. Start to squeeze your glutes as well, feeling glutes and hamstrings, upper body, upper back pressed into the floor, and just have your face, your neck nice and soft. Let's hold it here a little bit longer. Keep actively squeezing in on your sponge, squeezing your glutes. Feel your strong foundation into the feet, into the shoulder blades. Holding for 3. Good, 2. On your last one, we're going to try something a little fancy today here. So we're dropping the hips down for a count, and then we lift up. We're pulsing at the top for 3 counts before we drop back down. So we pulse 3, 2, 1. Drop those hips. Lift, pulse, 2, 3. Drop the hips. Good. Pulse, 2, 3. Drop the hips. Keep it going there. 2, 3. Drop the hips. Yes, grounding down into your feet, feeling that connection to glutes and hamstrings, and really squeezing your sponge at the top of each lift. Wring that sponge out for your little pulses. Woo, let's go. 4 more here. Really push your feet into the floor. Pulse, lift it up. Woo, so good. Drop it down. 2 more. Find that good activation. Last one. Keep the hips high and keep the hips pulsing right here. Lift it up and up. Ground down into your feet. Squeeze your sponge a little bit more. Root down into the shoulder blades, the arms. Let's push it to the end with 8 more right here. Flex those glutes. Last 4, 3, 2. Hold your hips high. Keep those hips level. Squeeze your sponge as much as you can. Really wring it out. Push those hips higher. Squeeze your glutes here. Flex those hamstrings. Let's hold for 4. So strong and stable. Yes, 2. And the last one, roll those hips down. Hug your knees into the chest. Rock it out a little bit side to side. And then from here, we're going to work on our roll up to seated. So this is a new one. It's a little advanced. We're going to try it out and see how it goes. It's always progress, not perfection. So just noticing where you're at today and working on improving that every day as we move forward together. So your legs are long. Legs are going to stay super heavy into the ground. You're reaching your arms all the way back behind you. Get a nice stretch. And then we're just going to start with the arms here. We're getting our shoulders a little bit more open. So bringing the arms right down alongside your hips. Palms are going to face up. Reach the arms out to your sides. Bring them all the way back over your head. And then we're going to bring the arms back down to the hips. So palms up, open out to the side. Reach up and alongside the ears. And then back down to your hips. So find your sponge again with this one. Even though legs are straight, we're in a slightly different position with legs straight versus knee bent, but you can still feel that sponge engagement. Bring the arms in tight to your sides, open out wide, back behind the head, and then bring those arms down. Just 3 more here. Waking up our shoulders a little bit more. This should feel really good into your shoulder joint. It helps wake up across the chest, across the upper back. And just getting ready for that roll up, coming in 1 more big arm circle. We're going to bring the arms back behind the head to finish, and then take a full breath in. As you exhale, you're reaching your arms up towards the ceiling, squeezing your sponge as much as you can. Tuck your chin to your chest, and you're going to use your sponge to peel you all the way up to seated. So you're going to get a couple chances to try that one out here. At the top, find a really nice stretch forward, lengthening out your hamstrings. Again, think about a nice straight spine as you melt forward, reaching chest towards the legs. And then we'll sit up nice and tall. We're reversing the roll back down towards the mat as slow as you possibly can. So you're going to think of your sponge sort of like brakes here to really keep you going slow and controlled. Arms come in front of the chest. Keep your legs heavy. Tuck the tail under as slow as you possibly can. Rolling to the mat. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze on your sponge. Think about one vertebrae at a time here. Lower it down, 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 and then big reach back at the bottom. Let's bring the arms in towards the sides. Take another one of those big arm reaches up and overhead, full breath in. As you exhale, legs heavy, reach your arms up towards the ceiling, tuck chin to chest, squeeze your sponge, and use those abs to peel all the way up. Reach for your toes, melt over top of the legs, and we're doing that one more time, down, and then all the way back up to finish. So take another breath in here, sit up as tall as you can, arms in front of the chest, squeeze your sponge, and then slow and steady, tuck the tail under, round it out, see if you can go slower than last time. Really use your sponge as brakes here, and make your way all the way back. Big stretch back overhead. As you exhale, last time here, all the way up, arms up, tuck chin to chest, keep your legs heavy, really use your sponge, squeeze, 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 and come all the way up. So good, nice work. We'll sit up tall, swing the legs around, find hands and knees, and we're coming right into our opposite arm leg reach, our bird dog, but we'll do a different variety today. So we've done some different things in our bird dog. We've done the holds, we've done it same side the whole time, we've alternated sides. Today we're going to alternate sides and do it a little quicker. So not a long hold at the top, we're just gonna go left and right leg, left arm, right leg, and then switch it over, back to back to back. So you're just gonna see as we go, there's lots of different progressions and things you can change up for each exercise to just make it a little bit more fun, add variety, and work some slightly different muscles. So we'll come onto all fours, your shoulders again, right over top of your wrists, little bend into the elbows. And I want you to notice right away if you're just hanging out here or if you've turned your sponge on, or maybe you were waiting for me to tell you to, yeah? So really good just to start to naturally think of that sponge in each different position we get into and try and turn it on right away because you know you're about to move big. So stabilize your pelvis, your spine, squeeze that sponge. We're going to reach opposite arm and leg, left fingertips forward, right toes back. We're lifting up to the top. Again, not holding long here, just half a second, and then bring it down. We go right to the other side. Reach, left leg back, right arm forward. Just have a nice reach long, and then bring it back down. Other side, reach, reach, reach. Bring it down. Squeeze your sponge, reach. Bring the knee, the hand down. Abs in the whole time, wringing out that sponge. Stay really tall on your supporting arm as you reach it long. And lift that other leg off the floor. Good, keep going there, alternating sides. So your gaze is directly down towards the floor. Think about where your palms would be. You want your gaze right between your palms if you aren't lifting your arm each time. And think about nice steady hips. So your hip bones pointing towards the mat and your hips are never shifting out to the side. So really keep it stacked up. I'll show you this way as well, yeah. You can see me here. Reach through the heel, reach through the fingertips, bring it down. Reach, 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 flex your glute each time you reach that heel back. Flex, 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 and bring it down. So really thinking about the engagement and then thinking about length as you reach. And of course, all those little forearm pieces, tall on that supporting arm, hips over the knees, abs connected, yes, really long through your neck. Let's go for 4 more, and then we've got a little push at the finish here. Keep breathing, keep reaching long, keep squeezing your sponge. On your next one, come to left arm forward, right leg back, squeeze your sponge, and we're adding a little pulse with the arm and leg up towards the ceiling. Keep a good bend into your supporting arm, neck is straight. See if you can keep that balance here. Flex your right glute muscle. Lift and lift. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it at the top. Full breath in. And then bring it right to the other side. Palm and knee down. Left leg reaches back. Reach the right arm forward. Find your balance first. Squeeze your sponge. And then add that little tiny pulse with the arm and leg. Really reach crown of the head forward. Little bend into that supporting arm. You've got it here for 8 more counts. And you can always bring the right arm down if you need to. And just focus on that leg. Final 4, 3, 2. Hold it up. Deep breath in. Reach through the heel. And come on down. Let's take a quick child's pose. Drop your hips to the heels. Reach the arms forward. Awesome work. Woo. Okay, let's press up onto all fours. We're going to come onto our side here. So we're coming into our side bridge position, but we're not going to do our side bridges today. We are going to do our full side planks, but this is a brand new exercise for our 5-day challenge. So we're going to work the side bum a little bit here. So same position as our side bridge. Your shoulder is over the elbow. Your hips are stacked. And again, you want to think about your heels in line with the hips. And then we're lifting our feet up. The edges of your feet are staying touched together. Your top knee and thigh are going to open up. Push that knee up towards the ceiling. And then bring the knee down. So sponge squeezing in, ribs lifting away from the floor. We're finding that good shoulder stability, same as in that side bridge. And then finding our clams, we like to call them. Like a nice clamshell, opening and closing, right? So feet off the floor, edges of the feet glued together. And then finding your full range of motion, pushing that thigh bone back, but not letting your top hip move. So you're keeping that top hip stacked over top of the bottom hip. You're squeezing your sponge here, stabilizing your pelvis, your low back as that leg pushes up. Just getting a taste of those little side hip muscles, our glute med, glute min. We've focused on the big guys, the big glutes a lot this week, but also we don't want to forget about the little guys. So as we continue to progress, you're going to start to work more and more muscles, recruiting more and more with each exercise. And you'll start to feel even the bottom side here, those muscles that kind of wrap around your hip, because the feet are lifted and feet are together, we're activating the bottom leg as well. Even though it's kind of hanging out for the most part, with that foot up, we get that extra activation. Squeeze your sponge a little more. We're going for 3. Press that knee up as high as you can, 2. And then hold the knee up, squeeze your sponge, add a little pulse at the top with that knee, push up and up. Your neck is straight, face is relaxed. Keep squeezing your sponge, get taller on that bottom arm. Stay here for 4, 3, 2, hold it up, deep breath in, and bring the knee down, feet down. You're gonna press yourself up, flip towards the mat. Knees nice and wide, sit the hips back to the heels. Find your child's pose. Okay, so we're going to go a little heavy on the shoulders here. We're coming right into our forearm plank, and then we're going to hit up the other side of that glute work. So it's going to be shoulder, shoulder, shoulder. So give them just a quick roll out here. We'll have breaks between our next 2 exercises, but exciting stuff. We're coming into our forearm plank you've been working so hard on. So I'm going to time us. We'll see how we do today. I think we did about a minute yesterday. So let's try a little longer. Yeah. So we're coming onto the elbows. Again, find your preferred arm position. We're going to step the feet back, but first, sponges on right away, of course. Squeeze those abs. Step left foot, right foot back. Come into that plank. Our time is counting. Yes, so shoulders over elbows. Hips in line with shoulders, and really recruit your leg muscles here. Flex your quads. Draw those abs in. Squeeze your sponge. Think about drawing ribs together. Of course, you have the option to pop onto the knees anytime. If you do feel like you're going down, try and hold for one more breath and then pop onto the knees first before, often in class, I see people just so dramatically drop down to the floor. Try to pop to your knees first and then you can let your body come down. But not until the last second. Usually your mind gives up before your body does. So tell yourself you can hold a little bit longer. You've already done 45 seconds. Let's go for at least 10 more and we'll push it a little further. And of course you can be on tall arms here if this one really doesn't feel good for your shoulders. Tall arms is great. Think about squeezing that sponge a little bit more. How we doing? We're past the minute mark. Let's see if you can hang on here for 5. Squeeze your sponge even more. 4. Really tall in the arms. 3. Super slow count. 2. And last one. Woo, pop those knees down. Child's pose. So that was 75 seconds. So awesome. Stretch it back. Lift yourself up. Give your shoulders a good roll out. Your forearm plank's getting easier. Yes? Maybe just a little bit. It also depends what we're doing around the forearm plank too, right? So if it's the first thing you do in the day, your muscles are all fresh, you're going to feel maybe a little bit more supported than when we've been using our shoulders and abs already. But it's all good. We're building that good core endurance, that stamina in the body so that you can do things longer, faster, stronger, all that good stuff. Little improvements every day. So let's get into those clams on this side. Your shoulder again in position right over top of the elbow. Spine is nice and straight. Hips in line with the heels. When you're ready, start to lift your feet off the ground. Edges of the feet together. Open that top knee up. Sponges on. Inhale, lower the leg down. Exhale, press the knee up. Inhale to lower. Exhale, press it up. So finding your own pace here. Finding your range of motion. Keep your neck nice and straight, face relaxed, and really stay tall on that bottom elbow. Make sure your shoulder isn't feeling yucky here, collapsing in towards the ear. Really engage through that bottom arm. Push the floor away from you. And just noticing if you have a slightly different range of motion side to side into the hips. A lot of our hip strength can be limited or get weaker over time as we are doing things that make us sit more, and we're tightening up through the front of our hips, our hip flexors. So really important to take the time to strengthen the side and especially our big glute muscles. The more we sit on them, the more they lengthen out and get a bit weaker in that bad position. We want to tighten them up, strengthen them up, and really feel good and strong through the hips. Push that thigh back as much as you can. Yes. And a lot of other issues in the body or aches and pains come from the hips. The bigs are sort of a big powerhouse, big center that you can have knee problems, ankle problems, even shoulder problems can come from the hips or vice versa. You could have something going on in your shoulders and it could bring up something in the hips. So as I've said, we're very much all connected from head to toe. All your muscles are connected. So really good to work the body as a whole. And we're ready to pulse here soon, probably, right? As I get chatty. But we're taking that holistic approach. Always, always. Let's go 2 more and then pulse it out. Turn that sponge back on if you've lost it. Keep your top knee up. Let's add that little pulse at the top. Press and press. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze your sponge. Hips are still stacked. You're tall on that bottom elbow. Work those glutes for all the sitting you've done lately. Work it out. Fight through that fire. Let's go for 8 more. Push it strong here to finish. Good. Last 4, 3, 2. Hold the knee up. Deep breath in and let it go all the way down. Flip towards your mat again. You can come right back into your child's pose. Quick breather there. Hips to heels. Whew, so good. Okay, come on up, roll your shoulders out. We're going to do our side planks to finish. We're going to do them a little bit differently today, so it's not super heavy on the shoulders. We're going to do them on a tall arm, It is a little more intense on the elbow for the shoulders. And I just want you guys to see the different variations you can do with all these exercises. So we're not going to hold stable on one side. We're going to switch from side to side. So give your shoulders another little roll out. It's their last big push of the day in our side planks here. So we're going to come into a tall armed plank position. You're back onto all fours, shoulders over wrists, sponge on right away, draw those abs in, step your feet back, and then you're firming into your right palm, or the palm furthest away from your screen so you can see to start. You're rolling onto the edge of that foot, reaching your top arm up. Again, your feet can be staggered here. Hips and shoulders are stacked, or you can stack those legs right up. And we're going to switch from side to side. So you're holding there for a second, a breath, and then bring that left palm down. Come back to your center plank. Come onto the edge of that other foot. Reach the opposite arm up. Hips are stacked. Maybe you take the time to stack up the leg. And then bring it down right over to the other side. So we're going to do a few here. Make sure bottom shoulder is over the wrist. Stack up hips and shoulders. And actively push your hips away from the floor. Nice and strong right there. Find your strong plank through center as you transition. And then right to the other side. Keep squeezing your sponge. Neck is nice and long. Think about beautiful form here as you move slow and controlled from side to side. Keep those hips high. No need to rush through it here. Always think about your form and stability first versus moving quickly. Bring that palm down, other side. Awesome, awesome work. We're doing one more on each side here. Stagger the feet, maybe try stacking it up if you haven't yet. One more on the other side. So good. Reach the arm up. Lift those hips a little higher. Bring the hand down. Hold your center plank just for one deep breath in. Squeeze your sponge one last time. And bring the knees down. Child's pose. Drop your hips to the heels. Reach your arms forward. So awesome. Stretch it out. Really let your body melt towards the ground here. You can rest your forehead right down on the mat. Let's press up to all fours. You can sit back on to the heels or come into a cross-legged position. We're just taking those arms behind the back, interlace the hands, reach your knuckles away from you, and then maybe start to lift the arms up ever so slightly. Open up through the chest. You can tilt the chin up towards the ceiling. Still keep your sponge a little bit on here so you're not arching through your low back. Deep breaths in and out. Stretch out the chest, the shoulders. And then take it the other way. Hands interlaced in front of the chest. Press your knuckles forward. Think about really rounding out through the upper back here. And you can almost come into a full C curve, tucking your tailbone slightly under. Think about rounding through low back and upper back. Push the knuckles forward. Draw that sponge in. And then you can really drop your chin down and roll your chin from side to side, stretching out the neck. Woo, so good. Let the arms release. Come to any comfortable position. I'm going to come off the heels for this one. We're just going to do some nice arm circles here. So you're bringing your arms up and overhead. Big reach up. And exhale. Bring the arms down. Big inhale, reach up. Getting that mobility into the shoulders. Bring the arms down. Just one more big stretch up. Exhale, bring the arms down. Shift so your legs have space to reach out in front of you. We're coming into that forward fold. I want you to think about straight spine again here first. You can have a little squeeze on that sponge and then slowly, slowly start to walk your chest towards your legs. Maybe hands come to shins. Maybe they get to the toes, or maybe neither. Maybe with spine straight, your hands are still on the thighs, which is totally fine. But we're really working to unlock all those muscles around your hip, stretching out through the hamstrings. Whew. Feel that release into the back of the body. Hold it there. Again, we want to get uncomfortable so that you're more comfortable getting into these little positions that give you all that discomfort. It's going to get easier the more you push yourself through that little bit of discomfort. So let's hang on here for one more deep breath. See if you can go just a little bit lower. Get uncomfortable for one big inhale. And exhale. Come on out. One more stretch here. We're going to take the legs out as wide as you can. Might not be super wide, but as wide as your hips will allow. And then gently, again, you're walking forward, keeping your spine nice and straight. Just slowly, slowly walk your hands forward till you feel like, okay, that's far enough for my legs. And hold it right here. So we're getting hamstrings still, but right into the inner thighs, the hips, which often our little inner thighs can get neglected too. So really good to stretch them out because they are very much connected to your core as well. So they're sneakily working a lot of the time here when it doesn't feel like it. Really good to find that release. Straighten out your back a little bit more and bring it forward for one more breath. Get a little bit lower. And exhale, come on up. Let's bring those legs back in. Whew, slow and controlled. We're going to take our final breath here. Once again, sit up as tall as you can. Show me your awesome posture. Just noticing if your posture has changed at all over these 5 days, or maybe it's a little bit easier to get into that nice tall spine position. Let's take a full breath in. Reach the arms up. Press your palms together, and as you exhale, hands come to the heart. Close your eyes. Keep your chest nice and open, really tall through your spine. Thanking yourself for taking the time to do 5 strong days of practice. So, so amazing. Be so proud of yourself in this moment, feeling strong and energized and stable, in control of your body. Take one final full breath in. Fill up as much as you can. And exhale that out. Opening the eyes. Amazing, amazing work, everyone. You made it through the 5-day Stronger Core Challenge. I hope you feel amazing. Take the time to celebrate. I'm celebrating all of you, but make sure you take some time to celebrate yourself. Do a little happy dance. Give yourself a pat on the back. Tell people in your life what you've done and how you feel, how your body has changed in just 5 days. Have an awesome day. Congrats again. And go celebrate. You're done day 5 of the 5-day Stronger Core Challenge. Awesome job. Bye, guys.